Hello and welcome to the Illinois Wing Civil Air Patrol Open House event. My name is Colonel Bob Dempsey. I'm the Illinois Wing Commander, and I'd like to personally thank you for visiting us today to find out more about the Civil Air Patrol. The Civil Air Patrol has a long history. We've been around for nearly 80 years. We've had a presence in Illinois since 1941. Since then, thousands of members have served the Illinois Wing community in a variety of capacities. If you're interested in aerospace education, working with your community, search and rescue, communications, leadership, those are just some of the opportunities that await you in Civil Air Patrol. Please listen to the presentations today and see if there's something for you as a member of the Civil Air Patrol. Again, thanks for being with us today.
Hello, I am Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Sarah Schofield from the Colonel Shorty Powers Pilot Squadron located at Cloud International Airport in Bolingbrook. I have been a member of Civil Air Patrol in the Cadet program since May of 2015. I joined this program at the age of 12, but youth can join the program between the ages of 12 to 18 and stay in as a member of the Cadet program until the age of 21. Once a Cadet turns 21, they have the option to continue the membership through the Senior Member Program. Squadrons meet once a week, typically for 2 hours. There are squadrons all across Illinois, and you can find the one closest to you on the Civil Air Patrol website under Unit Locator. Youth are encouraged to attend at least 3 meetings before joining, and parents are always welcome to attend. Our weekly meetings typically consist of aerospace education, emergency services, leadership lessons, and physical training. Cadets learn hands-on aerospace education through our model rocketry program, flight simulators, and remote-controlled aircraft. When a cadet joins, they are given the opportunity to partake in 5 flights in a glider and 5 flights in a powered aircraft. These introductory flights, again including your membership, teach cadets the basics of flying airplanes as well as what it takes to be a pilot. At weekly meetings, summer activities, and weekend events, cadets can also learn emergency services. Our emergency services program teaches youth search and rescue. After receiving all the training necessary, cadets will be able to locate emergency locator transmitters from downed aircraft as well as search for missing people. Cadets participate in these missions as a part of an adult-led group team which typically consists of 5 or more members at the direction of the U.S. Air Force. Leadership is taught to cadets through in-person lessons, squadron roles, and mentoring. In order for cadets to promote to their next rank, they are tested on leadership, aerospace knowledge, drill, and physical fitness. Our cadet program has a ranking system based on the U.S. Air Force. Cadets can progress from the rank of Cadet Airman to Cadet Colonel. This system of promotion ensures that our cadets are tested in and given increasing levels of responsibilities appropriate for the position within the squadron. As cadets move through the ranks, they have the opportunity to serve in leadership positions at both the squadron and at encampments throughout the nation. Your success is one of our top priorities, and we work with you every step of the way. One thing we found that helps in the beginning of this journey is to attend an encampment. Encampments are 1 week long or 2 consecutive weekend training sessions that teach the basics of being a cadet. Some of the things that you learn include basic drill and ceremonies, how to wear your uniform properly, and the focus on attention to detail. While encampments consist of a lot of training, some encampments allow cadets to rappel, have a flight in a military aircraft, and other fun once-in-a-lifetime activities. Once cadets complete their basic encampment, they have the opportunity to apply to National Cadet Special Activities that are held all across the country. These week-long courses include flight training, the opportunity to work with members of Air Force Pararescue, and the nation's new Space Force, just to name a few. There is truly activity for everyone. National Cadet Special Activities are by far one of my favorite parts of the Civil Air Patrol and are great activities to meet people with similar interests from all different wings. I have attended 10 of these activities, including the Air Force Space Command Familiarization Course, where I got up close and personal with the Falcon 9 rocket and was able to watch it launch, and I also took part in a week-long behind-the-scenes tour of NASA facilities. My other favorite part of this program is, of course, the flying. Beyond the 10 orientation flights I mentioned, cadets have the opportunity to take additional flight training through Cadet Special Activities and then follow up on flight scholarships. I am a recipient of the Cadet Wing Scholarship that has allowed for up to $10,000 in flight training. I hope to complete my flight training very soon and earn my private pilot's license all before graduating high school. After, I plan to follow up on either the U.S. Air Force Academy or to commission into the U.S. Air Force through Air Force ROTC. Civil Air Patrol is a great program to teach youth the importance of self-discipline, respect, and attention to detail. I love this program and I know that you will love it too. I encourage you to attend a local squad meeting or simply go to gocivilairpatrol.com for more information, including your nearest squad location.
Hi, I'm Cadet First Lieutenant Andrea Lyonsford, and I'm from Shorty Powers Composite Squadron.
Hello, I'm Cadet First Lieutenant Turk from Shorty Powers Composite Squadron.
Hello, I'm Cadet Second Lieutenant Ryan Prell from Shorty Powers Composite Squadron.
In Civil Air Patrol, we have 3 missions: aerospace education, emergency services, and cadet programs. We also have core values: respect, integrity, volunteer service, and excellence in all we do. We also have a cadet oath. Some of the special activities that we can do in Civil Air Patrol include encampment, flight academies, Cyber Patriot, National Emergency Services Academy, Honor Guard, Color Guard, and Leadership Academies.
While being a cadet in the Civil Air Patrol, there are multiple missions and events that regularly take place. To make sure we are prepared for when the community needs us, there's training available monthly in topics such as ground team, urban direction finding, mission radio operator, mission staff assistant, and many others. Civil Air Patrol participates in actual missions, such as a missing person search, downed aircraft search, and disaster relief. Currently, during the COVID-19 pandemic, CAP has been assisting many food pantries. Other events that CAP commonly participates in is Wreaths Across America, by selling wreaths and laying them on the tombs of fallen veterans during the holiday season. Some squadrons may also help during various air shows by performing duties such as crowd control or flight line marshalling. Civil Air Patrol has a wide variety of missions and other events that take place yearly.
One of the main parts of the cadet's experience is the weekly squadron meetings. Typical meetings consist of a lesson on leadership, STEM topics, character development, safety, or emergency services with a corresponding activity. Common leadership activities are team leadership problems, which encourage cadets to work as a team and develop leadership skills. STEM activities include robotics and model rocketry. Other meetings will include physical training with either a PT test or PT activity, such as capture the flag. Weekly meetings give cadets a chance to form friendships and develop useful skills in a number of areas.
Promotions are a large part of the cadet program. Cadets start with their mandatory trial period, where the prospective cadet must attend 3 meetings before the unit commander may approve their membership application. Once the membership is approved, there are 4 phases in total. Phase 1 is the learning phase, Phase 2 is the leadership phase, Phase 3 is the command phase, and Phase 4 is the executive phase. There are a total of 16 achievements and 5 milestones a cadet can get in the cadet program. Some requirements to promote are leadership tests, aerospace tests, PT tests, drill tests, speeches, papers, presentations, staff duty analyses, and character development requirements.
One of the most exciting aspects of cadet life is orientation flights, where cadets are given the opportunity to experience the wonder of flight. CAP does allow cadets to handle the controls while aloft. However, the pilot remains in command at all times, and only the pilot will fly the airplane during takeoff, landing, and other critical moments of the flight. Each flight has a theme. Flights focus on basic maneuvers, aircraft instruments, weather, and more. With few exceptions, most cadets will fly in a CAP-owned single-engine Cessna or glider. In powered aircraft, cadets are aloft for 45 to 60 minutes. If 2 cadets fly at once, they share 90 to 120 minutes of flight time. In glider aircraft, the flight time will depend on the soaring conditions. Each cadet may receive up to 5 flights in a powered aircraft and 5 flights in a glider.
Some commonly asked questions are: how old do I have to be to join Civil Air Patrol? You have to be 12 years old, but not yet 19. Can I join if I have a medical condition or disability? Yes, Civil Air Patrol is committed to doing everything we reasonably can to help cadets succeed. Do cadets have to join the military? No, you do not have to join the military, but many choose to do so. Cadets who earn the Billy Mitchell Award may enter the Air Force at an advanced grade, E3, if they choose to enlist.
Hello, I am Senior Airman Kessler and I am cadet at the Colonel Charles Compton Squadron. What I love about our squadron is that it is always a positive, caring, and motivating environment to be around. Our leaders are always wanting everyone to succeed and to never leave anyone out of anything and to always have everyone constantly learning new things. They will always be pushing you to be the best version of yourself possible more than you've ever known. The biggest reason I love CAP is because it is forming me into a better person every day, and it has helped me succeed greatly in academics and fitness. Each day you are working towards where you want to be, and CAP is giving you the resources you may need to do so. There are so many great opportunities in CAP, from getting to fly gliders and powered planes, which I have personally done. You are put with a professional pilot and get to take control of the plane somewhat, which is such an unimaginable experience. There is also many encampments to choose from, and personally I have been on the Great Lakes Navy base for 2 weekends for one of the coolest experiences I have had. CAP also offers scholarships for so many different things, so if it's not affordable to you, there may be something you can do. Overall, you will not regret becoming a cadet. You will have wingmen to rely on and encourage you. You will have many friendships that will last a lifetime, endless opportunities. If wanting an Air Force career like me, such as maybe a pilot, then CAP is an excellent program to be in. CAP is also great to have on other applications such as college. I hope you join us.
Hello, I'm Master Sergeant Frank D'Angelo. I'm the Illinois Wing Command Non-Commissioned Officer. I'm joined by Major Jacob Hiles of the Air Force. Major Hiles is stationed currently at Scotts Air Force Base, Illinois. He's a lieutenant colonel in the Civil Air Patrol, but serves currently as a major in the Air Force. Major Hiles is here to talk to us about his experience as a cadet in Civil Air Patrol and how his service as a cadet prepared him for a military career. Welcome, Major Hiles, and thank you for participating in this interview. Let me start by asking, please tell us about your experience as a cadet in Civil Air Patrol.
My Sergeant D'Angelo, thank you for having me on today. I originally started as a cadet in the Pennsylvania Wing way back in 1992 when I joined the Jimmy Stewart Composite Squadron 714. I was 13 years old when I joined. A friend of mine from school invited me, and I've been in it ever since, coming up on 28 years next month. I did a lot of things as a cadet to help me get ready for the Air Force. First off, I spent most of my early years in private school or homeschooled, so I had not as much interaction as maybe some other kids might have. So Civil Air Patrol helped expose me to other kids, interact with a bunch of different people through both members of my squadron who were from different school districts. And when I went to different activities like FTXs, going to Hawk Mountain, going on search missions or parades, things like that, got to really interact with a lot of people from different backgrounds, different ideas for me. That really helped prepare me for the Air Force, which is truly a melting pot of American society. So I was in the cadet program all the way up until I turned 21. I reached the rank of Cadet Lieutenant Colonel, earned my ACRE award. And when I left 714, I was the cadet commander. So I participated a little bit when I was in Air Force ROTC at Penn State. I was still attached to my home squadron, and I participated with the State College squadron there. So I remained a cadet all the way up until I turned 21 and moved on to be a senior member. That was in 2001.
All right. So you touched on your experience and how Civil Air Patrol prepared you for a career in the Air Force. Is there anything that you would like to add and tell our audience about how Civil Air Patrol can prepare a cadet for a career in the military in general, regardless of branch?
Sure. Well, you can see I've got pilot wings on, so I got my introduction to flight in Civil Air Patrol. So if you're interested in aviation, that's definitely a good place to start. In addition to that, it's just the teamwork and the sense of responsibility I learned as a young cadet. As you work your way up through the cadet program, developing increased levels of leadership and capability as you move through the program. I had a step above my peers when I entered ROTC. And not only did I already know how to drill, I already had experience leading people, making decisions, command decisions, and not being afraid to step up and take charge of a situation that needed someone to take charge. Those are all good instances that will help you in the Air Force, whether you join as an enlisted member or whether you join as an officer through ROTC, the Academy, or OTS. Any experience you have developing leadership at an early age, like you can through the Silver Patrol Cadet program, is a great step and help if you're going to join the military.
I agree. I have my last question for you, sir, is what do you tell us about what you currently do in the Air Force?
Sure. I'm almost at 19 years right now. I am a C-130 pilot. That is my side job. My day job is I am the Chief of Aircrew Training for the C-130s at Airman Mobility Command Headquarters here at Scott Air Force Base. I am on active duty. I'm in a unique position in that the C-130Hs that I fly, otherwise known as the legacy C-130s, are only operated by the reserve component, so the National Guard and the Reserve Command. So I am in charge of developing training policy for the reserve component, make sure that you're properly trained and ready for whatever mission our headquarters sends our way.
Very, very good. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us, Major, and telling us about your experience as a cadet and as an airman in our Air Force.
Thank you for having me.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us for the Illinois Wing Civil Air Patrol Virtual Open House. Thanks for stopping by. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Ray Walden. I'm a member of the Illinois Wing Emergency Services staff. I'm here today to briefly cover some of the activities our citizen volunteers have been performing during this COVID-19 pandemic. It's important to share with you all that Civil Air Patrol's 3 congressionally chartered missions of cadet programs, aerospace education, and emergency services continue in communities across Illinois and the nation, despite some of the restrictions we've all encountered during this pandemic. Back in March, Illinois Wing Commander Colonel Robert Dempsey convened a panel of officers and non-commissioned officers across diverse public and private professional backgrounds to tackle the operational challenges that came with the initial stay-at-home orders issued at the state and municipal levels. Our first task was to study and analyze the various COVID recovery plans published at each level of government. From there, our chief concerns were primarily protect our membership. How do we best educate and train our citizen volunteers on health and safety practices? How can we maintain mission readiness when our community, state, or nation calls upon us for assistance? Finally, how do we prepare our members to return to normal Civil Air Patrol activities as public health restrictions are lifted in their various stages? After all of our volunteers signed up to contribute to at least one of our Civil Air Patrol missions, and they want to get back to work. Next, I'd like to share with you some of the various emergency services missions our citizen volunteers are performing in communities around Illinois and around the country. This map represents states, organizationally we call them wings, that have active emergency response missions and the type of services we're performing there. As you can see, most states have requested Civil Air Patrol's assistance in one of our key mission capabilities. In many states, we're performing several different support tasks simultaneously. The chart you see at the bottom left corner of this slide describes the color coding and the types of missions that we're performing. Here we see how many volunteers have provided mission support in several different roles since our COVID response started. CAP has been asked to augment emergency response personnel in several emergency operations centers at the local, county, and state levels. Our largest presence in terms of volunteers and hours served has been in various points of distribution centers, helping with food, personal protection equipment, and emergency response supplies. Volunteers from across our mission skill sets have certainly made an impact here. This includes our air crews, ground crews, communicators, and administrative support staff. Civil Air Patrol's COVID support is now the longest continuously operating emergency response since our early organizational days in World War II. That is a significant volunteer effort to sustain support to our local communities. While some of our local mission requests have slowed in the last couple months, for the last 7 months, we've certainly been engaged at the national level and here in Illinois. Here we can see some statistics illustrating the volume of material we have supported across the country. COVID-19 certainly changed the way we conduct our daily missions to support cadet programs, aerospace education, and emergency services. Our traditional disaster relief missions haven't stopped. We still have natural disasters causing distress to our citizens in several regions around the U.S. Earthquakes, severe inland storms, tornadoes, tropical storms, hurricanes, and wildfires are some of the larger assistance operations we faced while we're still complying with COVID-related safety precautions. Our citizen volunteers have adapted well and still stand ready to respond. Focusing on our assistance operations here at home in Illinois, our team members continue to keep our aircraft, ground vehicles, and communications equipment in mission-ready condition. Our air crews continue to work on mission proficiency, and we have scores of volunteers, officers and cadets alike, that are rolling up their sleeves, donning face coverings and gloves, and chipping in at critical food and emergency supply distribution centers across Illinois, and even supporting our neighbors just over the border in Indiana and Missouri. Our team members have assisted in several facilities that have been repurposed to support the urgent need for community food distribution, such as storage facilities, recreation centers, and even schools. If COVID-19 has reinforced anything, the message is clear. Our communities are adaptable and resilient when our citizens work together to find solutions and support those that are in need. The citizen volunteers of Civil Air Patrol across the nation and here in Illinois stand ready and willing to assist when our neighbors need us most. If you have any questions about Civil Air Patrol's roles and responsibilities during COVID-19 or about our emergency services missions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me at the email contact here on the screen. I'd be happy to respond and maybe direct you to a CAP unit in your area where you can learn more about missions that may interest you. Again, thanks for participating in our virtual open house and taking a couple of minutes to learn about how our members are contributing to the missions during these challenging times. Be safe, be well, and take care of each other.
Welcome to the 2020 open house of the Illinois Wing of the Civil Air Patrol. I'm Captain Arzenia Williams, the Illinois Wing Director of Safety. Safety is prominent in everything we do at Civil Air Patrol. We have developed a program where we're constantly assessing the risk of our activities, developing plans to mitigate those risks, and then reviewing those plans to make sure that they stay current throughout the activity. This is a process that we call safety management, the safety management system. It's also a process that we hope all our members take home with them so that they exercise these principles in everything we do, not only with Civil Air Patrol, but in our daily lives. What follows is a short presentation about our safety program. I hope you enjoy it, and welcome to the Civil Air Patrol. The goal of the Civil Air Patrol Safety Program is for each and every member of Civil Air Patrol, as well as the organization itself, to embrace and practice risk management as a core competency of Civil Air Patrol. What follows next is a video from our National Commander, General Mark Smith, as he discusses our Civil Air Patrol Safety Program.
When it comes to excellence in mission accomplishment, I've talked about relevancy, and I've talked about a key component being professionalism, with a number of different facets of professionalism that are equally important. The first one that I'd like to talk about is safety, or risk management. We've talked a lot about having a culture of safety. Between you and me, I believe the use of culture of safety is a term that's overused and abused. But what it comes down to is it should be just the way that we do business. In everything that we do, all of our activities, we should apply risk management types of processes to make sure that what we're going to do, we can be successful at it. And not only successful in that mission accomplishment, but doing it in a way that we're not going to get anybody hurt, we're not going to damage anything, that we can be highly successful in getting that particular job done, whether it ranges from a squadron meeting to going out on a real mission in the middle of the night, with all the different facets that come into consideration. The risk management process, it doesn't have to be long and complex, but put thought into what we're doing for all of our activities. If we can do that, we can make sure that we take care of our most precious resource, our people, as well as making sure that we're successful in our mission accomplishment. Thank you very much.
Every unit within the Illinois wing has a designated safety officer. This includes our groups, squadrons, and even down to the flight level. These safety officers serve as advisors to the unit commander on implementing the Civil Air Patrol safety program at their level. However, in CAP, all members are safety officers. Every member has the authority to stop an activity they feel is unsafe. As you become involved in Civil Air Patrol, we highly recommend that you take the Activity Safety Officer course. This will introduce you to the principles and concepts of our safety program so that you can incorporate them into activity planning. We utilize the safety management system in Civil Air Patrol, which has the 4 pillars of safety responsibility. We also utilize the risk management review process. This is a 5-step process which has us identify, assess, control, implement those controls, and then evaluate how well our plan is working. This is a continuous loop. It does not stop. As the activities are going on, we look for new and different hazards and risks, and we adjust our controls to those risks. In addition, our National Safety Office publishes the Safety Beacon, a monthly newsletter with topics for safety that are of interest to all our members. And our wing also publishes a monthly newsletter with safety pages, the different safety topic for every month. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy your new membership in the Civil Air Patrol.
Everyone, I'm sorry I couldn't be with you all in person today, but I didn't want to miss the opportunity to thank you for everything you've done and all that you continue to do for your community and our nation. Since the Civil Air Patrol's formation during the earliest days of World War II, the citizen airmen have been committed to serving America, evolving into a critical public service organization that still carries out emergency service missions when needed, in the air, on the ground, nationwide. As the auxiliary of the U.S. Air Force, the Civil Air Patrol's vigilant citizen volunteers are there to search for and find the lost, provide comfort in times of disaster, and work to keep our homeland safe. Your 60,000 members selflessly devote their time, energy, and expertise towards the well-being of your communities, while also promoting aviation and related fields through aerospace education and helping shape future leaders through the CAPS Cadet program. As each of you know, having a diversity of backgrounds, experiences, and physical abilities among your ranks of volunteers is important, because the truth is that our nation's strength lies in the diversity of our people, and a diverse cadet program only makes CAPS stronger. Look, I know it's easy to turn on the news and hear the rhetoric in our politics these days and get discouraged, but we can't let ourselves be disengaged. For several months now, Americans have been laying down, standing up, kneeling, marching, and mourning in the streets. They've been tugging at and prodding our country, trying to drag it forward until it lives up to the words of the Pledge of Allegiance, that in this republic there is liberty and justice for all. But so far, this nation has failed to make that promise a reality for many, especially for Black Americans. The responsibility, the work of bending the moral arc of the universe towards justice and equality can't just be put on the backs of those who've been feeling its weight this whole time. Rather, it is on all of us, Black, white, Asian, Latinx, you name it, to help those who've been marginalized and silenced time and again, to help reckon with the real, deep, uncomfortable realities of systematic biases that have marred our communities for centuries. But despite it all, I find myself hopeful, and that's because I know there are so many incredible people like you working to make America a better, safer, more inclusive place, committed to volunteering and serving even amidst the darkest pandemic. So please know that you represent the very best of this nation. Thank you again for everything you're doing for your communities and for our nation. God bless you all, and God bless America.
Hello, my name is Lieutenant Colonel Jacqueline Rounds. I'm the Illinois Wing Director of Diversity. Now, our program encompasses diversity and inclusion. And the reason I'm speaking to you today is for you to get a better understanding that diversity and inclusion has become a critical part of Civil Air Patrol. We all bring diversity into Civil Air Patrol. My talents are diverse from somebody else's. My abilities, my knowledge, my education, my training, they're all part of what makes me a person. And they're all part of my diversity. As far as inclusion goes, Civil Air Patrol is on a program to include as many people from various forms of cultures, religions, handicaps, to become members of Civil Air Patrol. And I, as the Director of Diversity and Inclusion, am here to tell you that you will be most welcome in Civil Air Patrol. If you are a youth member, you will join the Cadet Corps, and many of our cadets have gone on to the Air Force Academy, the Army, West Point, or business, with the training that they got from the basic understanding of what to do in Civil Air Patrol. We give you a program of leadership that starts out very simply by teaching you how to wear a uniform, by teaching you the military customs and courtesies, by letting you wear Air Force blue and all the regulations in Civil Air Patrol that go with it. And we give you the opportunity to learn to fly. We give you the opportunity to go on search and rescue missions, which is what Civil Air Patrol is primarily for. We give you the opportunity to advance your training rapidly so to be of service to your community, state, and nation. And hopefully, if you don't go join the military, you will join Civil Air Patrol as an adult member and work with other youth members known as cadets. Your opportunities are not limited in Civil Air Patrol. In 1961, January 20th, John F. Kennedy, President of the United States, said in his inaugural speech, "Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country." Well, when you join Civil Air Patrol, the question is not what can CAP do for me, but what can I do for Civil Air Patrol? As a Civil Air Patrol member, I'm a graduate of the United States Air Force Air Command and Staff College, which is offered to military majors and above. And I was a major at the time. It was a very long and difficult process. But I would not have been allowed to take the program had I not been in Civil Air Patrol. They have encampments every year. And at encampment, you'll be able to meet other cadets and seniors and go to military bases and spend a week at a military base or 2 weekends at Great Lakes Naval Air Station and see what a recruit goes through in Civil Air Patrol, and you will get credit for an encampment. The program that we have is meant to fulfill your needs of leadership. And as diversity and inclusion director, I'm here to say if you are handicapped, if you've got disabilities that we're not, disabilities that other people or organizations won't let you in, if you're LGBTQ and you don't know if other organizations will let you in, I'm here to tell you that I'm a transgendered colonel, and I'm the director of diversity for the state or wing of Illinois Wing. Therefore, I'm here to tell you that whatever your route is, Civil Air Patrol has a place for you. We want your diversity and your special talents in Civil Air Patrol so that we can include you and be inclusive in the program. We want you in Air Force Blue participating with a squadron. You are welcomed in Civil Air Patrol, and I hope you're able to join us. Thank you.
My name is Captain Joseph Walt. I'm a former cadet and current senior member in Civil Air Patrol. I am here today to talk to you about CAP cyber missions. In part, CAP cyber missions are to develop the next generation of cyberspace-trained individuals. You may ask, what is cyber? It is short for cybersecurity. It is a set of techniques to protect computer networks. Because there is a shortage of trained professionals, a person with a bachelor's degree on average makes $116,000, and you can double that for further education. As you can see on this slide, there is a large shortage of cybersecurity professionals. Civil Air Patrol can get you started on a cybersecurity career. CAP has partnered with Cisco to provide students and instructor training. There are many opportunities available to both cadets and senior members throughout the year, as well as several summer programs that focus on cybersecurity. If you have any questions, you may go to cyber.cap.gov or contact me at the email listed on the slide. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Education Training Brief. On behalf of the Illinois Wing Director of Education Training, Lieutenant Jamie Hiles, I am Lieutenant Colonel Jacob Hiles, the Assistant Director of Education Training. The Education Training Program, known as the ET Program, is a program that helps the adult members of Civil Air Patrol, known as senior members, learn specific mission-related skills and prepare them for leadership opportunities. The ET program consists of 5 levels, progressing from an initial personal and local focus, working at the squadron level, trying to figure out your new job, how you can help locally, up through group, wing, and national focus later on for a more strategic view of the program. Each level consists of 14 modules, starting at level 1, then up to between 22 and 27 modules and later levels. These cover all aspects of the Civil Air Patrol program. Modules are available from the Civil Air Patrol Volunteer University in any mix of in-person or online settings. There's equivalency credit available for prior cadet officers and those who have completed professional military education. If you completed Squadron Officer School, Air Command Staff College, or any of the other service equivalencies, you won't have to take some of the modules in Volunteer University. Instructors in each of the 6 Illinois wings conduct regular ET events. Now, these sessions can be dedicated weekend events, or they can be part of the recurring weekly meetings. You can even get an on-demand session as required. Online courses are proctored by experienced instructors from across the country and what are known as cohorts. Now, a cohort is 3 to 4 instructors and up to 25 students. With a new cohort starting every month, depending on student demand. The online learning management system is known as Axis. It hosts a combination of automated and moderated lessons. Now, level 1 is completely automated. Those need your mentor to sign off a cadet protection discussion you have to have there. Now, the rest of the lessons after that is a mix of moderated and automated. The moderated lessons, that consists of some assigned readings, a quiz, several discussion posts, and a writing or presentation assignment. This format should be familiar to anyone who has taken any online college courses. As members start their civil air patrol careers, they get to choose from 21 specialty tracks. These paths can range from administration, aerospace education, cadet programs, character development, operations, personnel, and even education and training, and many more. Each track comes with a dedicated pamphlet to guide the member through 3 ratings: the technician, senior, and master rating. Each level gives the member increased responsibility and impact. These pamphlets contain reading assignments and a checklist to help the member know what additional courses, tests, and knowledge requirements they need to pass each level. Now, mentorship is an important part of the education training program. As you start, you should be assigned a mentor for your specialty track. And as you advance, you in turn have the opportunity to mentor those coming behind you. In fact, for levels 3 and 5, mentorship is a requirement to complete those levels. Now, in addition to your mentor, the squadron, group, or wing education training officer can be a great asset to help you navigate your way through the education training program. In addition to the modules, members have some other things to complete. They have the opportunity to attend annual conferences at the wing, region, and national level. They can earn emergency qualifications. They can conduct aerospace or civil air patrol presentations to some outside audiences, and aerospace presentations to internal civil air patrol audiences. And they can serve in staff and leadership positions throughout the echelons of civil air patrol. The members who complete the requirements of each level and perform in an exemplary manner are eligible for advanced promotion. Now, the first promotion from senior member without grade to first or second lieutenant is in a minimum of 6 months. Now, when a member completes each ET level, they earn a certificate and or a ribbon. For level 2, the Jaeger Aerospace exam is part of that level, and that comes with its own ribbon. And when you complete your first technician rating, you earn leadership ribbon, so you get 2 ribbons out of level 2. You can find more information about the education and training program on the Go Civil Air Patrol page under members. Look for the education and training tab. And likewise, on the Illinois Wing page under members education and training. That website is ilwg.cap.gov. Thank you for attending.
Hello, I'm Master Sergeant Chris Matthews. Today I'm going to talk to you about the Civil Air Patrol's Non-Commissioned Officer Program, and this is a way that you can continue your service to your community, state, and nation. So as an introduction to myself, like I said, my name is Master Sergeant Chris Matthews. I served in the Air Force as a Security Forces member from 2003 to 2011, and in that time I gained some worldwide experience, as you can tell. I also was heavily involved with small unit leadership, training management, mentoring, counseling, all these NCO core skills. In 2016, I joined Civil Air Patrol because I was looking for the next objective. I was needing a way to help transition from military service. So this new mission of Civil Air Patrol quickly got me hooked, and I love this organization. Right now, I'm the non-commissioned officer in charge of cadet programs for the 286 Composite Squadron in Alton, Illinois. I did the same role at the Scott Composite Squadron, and I'm currently as well at the group level a NCO advisor to the group commander, and then I run the emergency services training programs and cadet programs across Group 1, which is Southern Illinois. I've got master ratings in cadet programs. I've got master ratings in aerospace education and emergency services. So all 3 of the core missions of Civil Air Patrol, I've been able to get some experience in. I'm also a character development instructor. I've got National Association of Search and Rescue qualifications. I've got plenty of ground search and rescue qualifications and experience. This all transitioned great from things like troop leading procedures, being able to write op orders, and so on and so forth, small unit leadership. I also attended the Hawk Mountain Ranger School Team Commander course based on all this experience, and I was able to attend and graduate there and bring that capability back to my squadron.
From 2016 through 2019, I was the Illinois Wing, which is the state level of our organization, Cadet Programs Officer of the Year. In 2019, I also received the Great Lakes Region and also the National Cadet Programs Officer of the Year. So I don't want to tell you this to make myself seem like I'm better than I actually am. All I do is take my NCO experience and skill set and I apply it to Civil Air Patrol. Anybody can do what I do. My success in Civil Air Patrol is a direct result of my NCO skills, my experience and training with stripes on my sleeve. So what is the CAP NCO Corps? Who can be an NCO? The short answer is E4 and above. So if you were an E4 to E9 in the active military, the National Guard, or the Reserve, you qualify to be a Civil Air Patrol non-commissioned officer. State Defense Forces, state militias, things like that, as of now, do not qualify. We start at the junior NCO tier with our staff sergeants and technical sergeants. Now, you can get these grades by either having that pay grade in the qualifying military branch, or you start wherever you start and you can promote through. I came in as a staff sergeant and I've promoted up to master sergeant since. Our senior NCO corps is master sergeant, senior master sergeant, chief master sergeant. All these are aligned with the Air Force's enlisted force structure. Our whole purpose is to bring our hard-earned skills and experience and training and bring that to a paramilitary organization to help with that aspect of it, to provide excellence in small unit leadership, in training, in mentoring. So commanders and units will get professional military skills. They're going to get the benefit of our training and experience, and we can train and advise non-prior service CAP members and all those things that they just have never been exposed to before. Instead of them learning it or not learning it to the detriment of the organization, an NCO in your unit can greatly help you with your paramilitary aspect of the program. So the duty positions at all echelons are either technical roles in doing worker bee tasks such as communications, finance, all these various of our 22 specialty tracks, 26, something like that. Also, the NCO advisor part is critical. So at the squadron level, all the way up to national, there should be an NCO as part of the command team. They are there as an advisor to the commander, and they work in concert with the commander and the deputy commander. So that all those years are not going to go to waste. You're going to be able to use them immediately. So what do we do? What can we do? The short answer is everything except for officer jobs. Now, the only real officer jobs for Civil Air Patrol are commanders and chaplains. Just about everything else is fair game for NCOs. So we have NCOs that fly. They're mission pilots. We have NCOs that run cadet programs. We have NCOs that do all the different squadron support functions. We can do anything, any specialty area. We are a terrific role model for cadets in phase 2 of the program, which are grades Cadet Staff Sergeant through Cadet Chief Master Sergeant. This gives us the opportunity to model what NCO leadership and conduct looks like at the ground level, where the rubber meets the road, which is where the NCO lives. We also help provide some structure to the adult membership side. Now, the way that we win as NCOs is by taking those core competencies that you learn through your service, whatever it is, because enlisted leadership in every branch has these 6 qualities. The first is operations, our 3 missions of cadet programs, aerospace education, and emergency services, helping in the decision-making process for how these different day-to-day operations are going to go. The planning, helping turn a commander's goal into action. Staff operations, helping with the communications process. Readiness is taking care of our logistics, all our various equipment. We have video receiver kits, we have aircraft, we have radios, we have all these different things. We have a vehicle fleet that transportation can help manage. Helping with the inspection program to make sure that we're in compliance and mission ready at any time. Leadership, we model core values. We help with organizational leadership at every level. We're experienced in coaching and counseling and managing conflict between members. And also we're terrific mentors because we were mentored and we learned how to be mentors through our service. Training management, not just the conduct of one individual training class, we can do that, but we excel at training management. The development of training plans and leaders and how to balance that art and science of training to get the best result. Program management, whether it's managing your Cadet of the Quarter Awards program, managing the finances and the safety programs, personnel issues such as promotions. These are program management issues that we lend a hand in. And finally, communications, member to member, person to person, that interpersonal touch that we give, and our skill at public speaking and the ability to teach that to cadets, being an effective listener, and also having or modeling online conduct exceptionally well for our younger members. Here's a real world example. In 2018, Great Lakes Region ran Cadet Winter Activities. We did a Region Cadet Leadership School and also a Cadet Honor Guard Academy at the same time. It was 100% NCO led and executed. In this group, you don't see a bunch of people that were in the Air Force and are now in CAP. You see an Air Force chief who just retired, but he has a background in fuels management. You see myself. I did 8 years in the Air Force as a security forces guy. Master Sergeant Cordova in the back has service in the Navy as a aviation fuels technician and also in the Army as an infantryman. Sergeant Guernsey has service in the Army as a combat engineer. Senior Feltz on the right has service in the Air Force, the Army National Guard, and the Navy as a corpsman serving along with the Marines, so he has experience with every single branch. Also as a first sergeant, bringing that people first perspective. Amazing success because of the way that we're able to put those NCO core competencies to work for CAP's benefit. So if you would like to know more, our Wing Command NCO, Master Sergeant Frank D'Angelo, his information is down there. Also mine, you can email me at any time and I will help you out no matter what. Veterans need a new objective. We need a new mission to accomplish. We need a new objective to seize, and CAP can be that for you, and I would argue that it should be. It's a great organization. We do great things, and we need great people. Thank you for your time.
Hello, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Joe Long, Director of Operations for the Illinois Wing from Chicago. Today, we're going to give you a virtual tour of 3 of the Illinois Wing aircraft, the 172, the Cessna 182, and the Gippsland GA-8. All right, the first airplane we're going to talk about is the Cessna 172. It's 180 horsepower, one of our primary trainers for cadets. So the wing is what produces the lift. On the back of the wing, on the outboard side, we've got ailerons. And on the inboard side, we have flaps. The ailerons are what rolls the airplane in a turn, and the flaps, those come down, and we'll show you later, those in action on the GA-8. Those increase lift, but also increase drag to let us fly a steeper, slower approach into airports. And we've got a number of antennas on top for the communication with ATC, air traffic control, towers, and things like that. We've also, all our airplanes have global positioning systems, or GPS, and this antenna here is for the emergency locating transmitter, or the ELT. On the bottom, this aircraft is a little older, so it has an older type of electronic direction finding to find downed airplanes, to find an ELT when it's going off. Let's take a quick look in the cockpit and see the layout of the instrument. All right, here we are in the cockpit of the 172. We got our airspeed indicator, tells us how fast we're going. Our attitude indicator tells us our orientation level to the ground. Our altimeter, which tells us how high we are. Down below that, we have our vertical speed indicator, tells us how fast we're climbing or descending. Next, we have our directional gyro, or compass, and that tells us the direction we're heading. Over here, our turn and slip indicator tells us if we're flying level, and if we're in a turn, how fast we're turning. Engine instruments are over here, tells us how much fuel we have. Standard clock. Suction gauge, which runs these instruments, tells us that we have enough air running through the vacuum system. And then we've got our oil temperature, which tells us how hot the engine is, and the pressure to make sure that we have enough oil in the system. And down below that, not sure if you can see it, but we have our RPM, or basically tells us how fast the engine and the propeller is turning. Moving over here, we have our 3 navigation instruments. Tells us if we're on course from either our GPS unit or our radio navigation, which is over here. Here's how we tune in our radios, what radio we're talking to or talking on. It's our GPS, tells us our position, and if we plug in a flight plan, it tells us if we're on course or not, in addition to our navigation instruments. Down below that, we have our communication radios and navigation radios. Radio stations on the ground that we can tune in a frequency, and it tells us the direction they're at, and if we're tracking a course, whether we're on course or not. So we have our communication radio number 1 and nav 1, communication radio number 2, and navigation radio number 2. Over here, we've got our cap radio, and that allows us to talk to our mission base or ground teams that we're working with to find a target. Down below that is our direction finding equipment. This is an old school one, and basically we center these needles to find the direction of an emergency locating transmitter that we're trying to find. So that's about it in the 172, very simple. Let's move over to the 182. Here we have our Cessna 182 Skylane. One of the biggest differences that jumps out at folks right away is this has a 3-bladed prop. It's turned by a bigger engine. This is 210 horsepower. This airplane is about 20% heavier than the 172. Requires a high performance rating in the aircraft, and this is our primary search and rescue aircraft. Okay, in the 182, like I mentioned before, it's a bigger engine, 210 horsepower. We've got more controls, whereas in the 172 we just have the throttle and the mixture. In the 182, in any variable pitch aircraft, we have a propeller control. Here we're looking at the tire of the GA8 Airvan. This is an Australian designed aircraft built to go fly in the outback of Australia. These big tires can make even the hardest landing seem soft. Okay, moving to the aft section of the GA8 Airvan, it's a bigger airplane. It can seat 6 passengers, and we've got a huge cargo door that slides open. We have 6 seats. This one is configured with 5 seats, and they can be removed for cargo or, in this configuration, to carry passengers. We've got huge side windows, which makes it the ideal aircraft for aerial photography and looking for downed aircraft. All right, here we are in the cockpit of the GA8 Airvan. One of the biggest differences from the other aircraft you see is that we have a glass cockpit. We've got all our indicators from airspeed, attitude indicator, altimeter, as well as our directional gyro, and it inputs navigation information to tell us if we're on course or off course. All the information from all those 6-packs is right in there. Over here, again, we have our Becker, our Doppler digital indicator to find our ELTs and find our target we're looking for. Another altimeter for backup, and our cap radio, which allows us to talk to our mission base, our ground teams, and we can plug in Air Force frequencies as well. And because the GA8 Airvan is a bigger airplane with a more powerful engine, we've got a different type of throttle quadrant, same as the 182, but we've got our throttle, our prop controls, and our mixture control. In addition to that, we've got an overhead switch panel. We've got our power, lights, and circuit protection for the airplane. It's a lot of fun to fly, and we can take it into small airports as well as the big ones.
What makes flying with the Civil Air Patrol different than flying with your flying club?
With Civil Air Patrol, we've got a reason to fly. You're flying with other people and with a crew. It's a way to give back to the community, using your pilot skills to give back to the community. It's very rewarding.